His name echoes through history. Alexander, king of Macedon, conqueror of Persia, pharaoh of Egypt, master of the known world, before the age of 30. But what rises quickly often falls just as fast. Welcome to Tides of Memory. Today we trace the meteoric rise and mysterious fall of Alexander the Great. Alexander was born in 356 before Christ in Pella, the capital of Macedonia. His father, King Philip II, was a brilliant military strategist. His mother, Olympias, claimed descent from Achilles himself. From the beginning, greatness was expected of him, but Alexander wasn't just trained in weapons and war, he was tutored by none other than Aristotle. Yes, the Aristotle. Under Aristotle's guidance, Alexander studied philosophy, literature, medicine, and science. He read Homer's Iliad so many times, he reportedly slept with a copy beneath his pillow. He didn't just want to fight like Achilles, he wanted to be him. In 336 before Christ, everything changed. King Philip was assassinated, stabbed by one of his own bodyguards. Alexander, only 20 years old, seized the throne. Almost immediately, rebellion flared. Greek city-states like Thebes tried to break away. Alexander responded with swift, brutal force. He crushed Thebes so completely that only temples and poets were spared. The message was clear. A new king had risen, and he would not be challenged. But Alexander wasn't content with ruling Greece. His eyes were set east, on Persia. The Persian Empire was the largest in the world. It spanned from modern-day Turkey to India, rich, ancient, powerful. In 334 before Christ, Alexander crossed the Hellespont into Asia Minor with around 40,000 troops. What followed would become one of the most extraordinary military campaigns in history. At the Battle of Granicus, Alexander faced a Persian satrap army and won. Then came the Battle of Issus, where he met King Darius III for the first time. Outnumbered, Alexander's forces still overwhelmed the Persian army. Darius fled, abandoning his family and royal treasury. Alexander treated the captured Persian royal women with dignity, a move that shocked the world. He wasn't just a conqueror, he wanted to be seen as a noble king. Then, in 331 before Christ, came the decisive blow, the Battle of Gaugamela. Darius returned with a massive force, possibly over 200,000 men. But Alexander, using brilliant tactics, broke through the Persian lines, scattering the army and forcing Darius to flee once more. Persia was his. Alexander rode into Babylon, then Susa, and finally Persepolis, the ceremonial heart of the Persian Empire. But in a dark twist, he set Persepolis ablaze. Whether it was revenge for the Persian sack of Athens or a drunken mistake, the fire consumed the city. The old world burned, and a new one rose in its place. By 330 BC, Alexander was not just a Macedonian king. He was pharaoh of Egypt, king of Persia, and lord of Asia. But conquest wasn't enough. He wanted to unify East and West, culturally and politically. He adopted Persian dress, customs, and court rituals. He married Roxana, a Bactrian noblewoman. He even encouraged his men to marry Persian women in a mass wedding at Susa. But many of his Macedonian officers grumbled. To them, Alexander was becoming too Persian, too foreign. Still, he pushed forward. In 326 BCE, Alexander crossed into India. There, at the Battle of the Hydaspes River, he faced King Porus, one of his most formidable foes. The battle was brutal, fought in monsoon rains. Porus brought war elephants, Alexander brought strategy. He won, but barely. And afterward, he did something remarkable. He allowed Porus to remain king, honoring his bravery. Alexander wanted to keep going, to the ends of the earth, as he called it. But his army had had enough. Years of marching, endless battles. foreign lands. They refused to go farther. Reluctantly, Alexander turned back. In 323 BCE, Alexander returned to Babylon. He was 32 years old, unchallenged, a living legend. But then, he fell ill. Some say it was malaria, others believe it was typhoid. Some even whisper poison. Over 11 days, his condition worsened. He couldn't speak, he could barely move. When asked to whom he would leave his empire, he reportedly said, "To the strongest." On June 10th, 323 BCE, Alexander the Great died. No one saw it coming. No plan, no clear heir, just a kingdom torn apart by ambition. After his death, Alexander's empire was carved up by his generals, the Diadochi. Wars erupted, the unity he fought for crumbled, but the legacy, that never faded. Over 20 cities named after him, Alexandria, the most famous, still stands in Egypt. Greek language, art and ideas spread across Asia, science, philosophy, astronomy, all carried by the momentum of his conquests. Even today, Alexander is studied in military academies, not just as a tactician, but as a symbol of ambition, vision, and the fragile line between glory and hubris. Alexander lived fast. He conquered the world, and then he vanished. No other general had won so much, so young, and no empire built so quickly had fallen so fast. His story isn't just one of battles and borders, it's a story of identity, of legacy, and of the eternal hunger for greatness. Thanks for watching Tides of Memory. If this journey through the rise and fall of Alexander the Great inspired you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. And if you want to see more epic stories from history, the links are waiting right in the description or in the corner above. Until next time, let the tides carry you deeper into history. And as always, stay curious.